All right, welcome to the Nathaneal Podcast. And today we have a very special guest, one of my good friends from X, Benjamin Chan.
Hello, how you doing, Nathaniel?
Yeah, I'm doing good, bro. How about you?
I'm doing great. It's a great day, honestly. Just vibing.
Yeah, from Dubai, right?
Yeah, live in the extremely hot city of Dubai.
How's Dubai? Like, how do you how are you doing there, or what do you do there?
Well, I mean, I work full time on X now, which is pretty great.
Uh-huh.
But Dubai is honestly everyone says there are like two different sides. There's like the glitzy, glamoury side where all the
Uh-huh.
rich people do stuff, and there's the poor side which people say like don't know what goes on. I
Uh-huh.
live like right in the middle in that middle
Right.
class. So yeah,
Okay.
all I see is, go to the desert, go eat out once in a while, just see wildlife, go once in a while go to the malls, hang out.
Uh-huh.
That's like just Dubai's a great place for that. It's really nice.
Cool, cool. And you said you're working full time on X. What were you doing before you worked full time?
Well, before X, I was working with my dad. He's a
Mm,
businessman, and I
right.
was just helping him out. For a period of time, I actually tried to learn to be on his team, but I found out that not only is he good at sales, but I am not. So I just changed to working for him. But before that, actually, I was an ambulance medic in
Whoa.
Singapore for 2 years
Okay.
during the height of COVID. That
Wow.
was fun.
How'd you get in there?
Um, so in Singapore, we have to serve the government for 2 years. It's mandatory.
Right.
Most people go to the army where they like lie in ditches and all that stuff. I got sent to that nice aircon fire station where yeah, I tell my friends for those 2 years I got paid to drive around in a Mercedes and pick up people.
Really? Like your ambulance is a Mercedes? Or are you just
Yeah,
joking? Really?
Mercedes Sprinter. Yeah.
Whoa.
Wait, what?
That's high class.
I mean, it's an ambulance, right? It has to be high class. I don't mean to
Well,
crap on other countries here, but like,
that makes sense. Because here in the Philippines, we're just using like cheap vehicles. So like when you said a
bicycles.
Mercedes, like I was like, whoa, Mercedes.
Yeah.
So you is that and what age were you when you were doing like the whole ambulance thing?
I think I was 18 to 20. Now I'm 22 this year. Yeah, I was 18
Right.
to 20 when that
And
happened.
and you didn't go, was this like so you went to high school, right?
Funny story, I was homeschooled all my life.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay.
yeah, homeschooled all the way until about 17, then COVID hit, and then I got a job for like 6 months. Then I went to be an ambulance medic.
Wow, that's interesting. So you were just homeschooled and then when pandemic hit, you were tasked because you had like what you mentioned a 2 year mandatory service.
Hmm. When you're about 18-ish, then you go in.
Wow. But if COVID didn't hit, would you have gone to college or like what were your initial plans if COVID didn't hit?
So you see, the thing about me is that I just had no idea what to do with life.
Uh-huh.
Like studying business didn't like I didn't know what to study.
Yeah.
So if COVID wasn't a thing, I would probably have screwed around, just work some F&B job until I mean, I was always trying side hustles, these weird side hustles. Like I started
Yeah.
my own car wash business,
Yeah.
and then I tried to become a Minecraft YouTuber,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
and then now this worked or is working for now, unfortunately. If not, then I don't know what I'll do.
Dude, this is funny. But so you didn't really have a plan, and then suddenly you were just so the mandatory thing with the ambulance, like, did you get to choose that, or like was that assigned to you? Wow.
To some extent, it was assigned, but you get to appeal.
Mm,
There's a very tough application process. I was
mm,
originally meant to be a driver for like supplies and stuff, but
right.
that's kind of boring. So at that time I had like a fear of blood and death. So I was just like,
Uh-huh.
might as well just face it, right? Put myself in a situation where I have to get over it. So I went to the head of the commander, whatever, whatever. I said, hey, look, it's like the most like cringe, like a suck up answer. I said like, hey, I don't find this fulfilling. Can I move to ambulance? And like the people
Okay.
laughed at me, but they let me in anyway. So I mean, sure, I'll take it.
Okay. And then how did you from being a ambulance guy go to like Dubai? How did that happen?
So halfway through when I was an ambulance medic, like I served 2 years throughout like my first year, my
Uh-huh.
dad started to bring up like Dubai and business opportunities and
Mm-hmm.
moving there, finding a second home.
Mm-hmm.
Uh Before that, for the last 10 years, he's been saying he's wanted to move out of Singapore, where I was originally from.
Yeah.
So I kind of knew what was coming.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, after the 2 years were over, we
Mm-hmm.
waited another like half a year to settle a bunch of other things, and then we left to Dubai.
Right. And when you got to Dubai, like what did you do personally? Did you already hop on X or like what happened?
I was supposed to join my dad's sales team
Oh, right. Yeah, you
I
mentioned.
mean, yeah, that was supposed to be my job. But
Yeah.
then yeah, I'm not very good at selling, so I kind of just didn't do it. I was just like kind of slacking. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
I mean, I live with my parents anyway. I just said,
yeah.
okay, then just don't pay me. I'll just mess around. I
Right.
hopped on X. And then things actually started working. So yeah, now I do this full time.
Cool, cool, cool. And what were you selling during that time again?
It's a medical device from Japan, from a 50-year-old Japanese company,
Right. So,
a
dude,
water machine.
you're so like involved with medicine.
Funny thing, I just swore I'll never go into the medical industry when I was younger because I was just so scared of it. I mean,
Uh-huh.
now I won't, like ever. Or at least that's
Yeah,
what I say right now. But as of now, I have no plans to. Like I just
yeah.
went in to face my fears. I did. I'm out. That's all.
Cool, cool. And now you're an X and you brand yourself as like a storyteller, a master storyteller. Can you tell me how did that niche come up? How did you decide to become a storyteller?
Well, first of all, I gotta say I don't brand myself as that. The
Okay.
comments do, and I
Oh,
agree with
okay.
it.
Oh, okay. So they
Shout
branded
out to the
you.
people who do. I won't. I'm not that narcissistic yet. Yeah.
Okay.
So I got inspired by Danko to come to X around like November last year. I think the exact
Mm.
date is November 28th.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, okay, this is cool. I have some money. Let's buy 2 hour writer. And
Mm-hmm.
then I started posting, the usual go for a walk, wake up at 5 a.m. The viral post that everyone loves to see.
Okay.
Uh, uh engage 3 hours a day or so, because I mean I had time. It was Christmas break.
Yeah.
And yeah, nothing happened. I did grow. I grew to like 500 followers in 2 months, but then I was at 500 followers and no skill, no niche, no
Mm.
idea what I was doing. So I switched to talking about books because I like reading like self-improvement business books.
Right.
But since there were a lot of other book accounts, I was just like, okay, New Year's coming up. Let me um make it my New Year's resolution to learn to tell stories.
Mm.
So I studied YouTube videos, I bought books, I reverse engineered different posts on X, and I
Mm.
started writing stories about the books I read.
Mm.
And then yeah, the post started doing well. I
Right.
had like 500, 600, 700 followers, and I'll get like
Mm.
consistent like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000
Mm.
impressions.
Mm.
And then people ask me how, and I just said, storytelling. Then after a while, some friends were just like, then why don't you just swap to storytelling? And
Right.
then yeah, I swapped, and here I am.
Wow. And like, how did the storytelling come up? Just randomly? Like you just thought, I'm just gonna do storytelling this year?
Well, it was actually kind of funny because I don't know when it started, but for a long period of time, I've thought of myself as someone who cannot tell good stories.
Oh,
Like
I
I thought
see.
other people were here, I was like below them.
Right.
So honestly, I have no idea how this happened.
Dude, on now that you're saying about it, you're saying it that way. I think you have this like propensity to do things that you think you're not good at. Because what you mentioned about, first of all, like when you mentioned you were afraid of blood and like medical stuff, and then you just dive right in because you want to prove yourself. And now you're saying that, oh, I'm like you said, you think that you're not a good storyteller, and because you think you're not a good storyteller, you just challenged yourself to do storytelling. That's very interesting, man. What do you think about that?
It's, it's a good point. Like I didn't consider it that way, but thinking back to like different points in my life, you are right.
Mm,
Like that, like every year I'll just set this stupid challenge for myself. I'll go like, okay, 1 month, wake up at 5 a.m., no phone until noon, and then or something like that. Or like 1 month carnivore diet.
yeah,
I don't know why I do it, but I just kind of like to just challenge myself for the fun of it, as
yeah,
long as it doesn't like physically or mentally harm me.
right.
I mean, I really don't know why, but yeah, you're right. I guess I just learned something about myself.
Yeah. You know, what's funny is that that's actually, I think, also my story of how I kind of become this guy. Well, okay. So I changed my life during the pandemic as well. Um, what
Mm.
happened was, so I grew up, I was fat and I was like lazy, and I had a lot of issues with my family. Um, it was just really like bad for my mental health, like bad for, my psyche. And just on like one day during the pandemic, I was like scrolling through YouTube or Instagram. And then I saw this guy like just talking about how, oh, during the pandemic we should work on our mental health and things like that. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll work on my mental health. And like I searched mental health in YouTube, and you know what who popped up?
Hamza?
David Goggins.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I searched YouTube like mental health. For some reason it became mental toughness. And then I started like watching David Goggins. And then that's when, because he really resonated with me, because he was like also fat, he was also lazy, he also had fat issues with his family. And I was like, holy damn, this guy is like
Wow.
me but 10 times worse. But he overcame the odds. And so that's when my life changed, when I just challenged myself too. What I did there, I did exactly what he did. Like I would run every day 4 miles. Dude, I was like,
Wow.
I my legs would get so sore that I would do what he did, where I just immersed it in ice so that it would heal. And then after that, once I'm finished with the ice, I would do push-ups and pull-ups, because I'm like, oh, my legs don't work anymore. I'm gonna use my upper body.
Wow. Props to you,
Yeah.
man. That's insane dedication.
Yeah, it is. That's kind of like, I think that's the point in my life where it changed. And I think that's uh that's a critical part of people, where we challenge ourselves, basing it off of your story
Mm.
as well. Because I think that, the rapid changes in your life, like the most memorable parts, as far as I can tell from your stories, is that when you kind of like just take a leap and challenge yourself.
Yeah. It's
So,
wild. It
mhm.
sucks, but it works.
Yeah, yeah. So curious, dude. Like, after that storytelling, so you started storytelling, right? Like, when did you decide, okay, I'm gonna monetize?
Uh, shout out to Arnie for this one. So
Arnie Ho.
yeah, Arnie Ho. So I think at this point, we had been friends for about 1 or 2 months. I was close to 1,000 followers. Then
Yeah.
he kept pushing me and said, Ben, you already have the results, go monetize. I said, no, I don't know if I can deliver for clients. He said, no, but you can do it. You can monetize. You have your own results. And I was like, nah, 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 just wait. So I took
Yeah.
on free clients. And then
Right.
the free clients got results, like
Right.
really good results, like
Wow.
10x results. And he was like, okay, now go monetize. I was just like, but I don't know how. And he was just like, you already have your clients' results, you already have your results. Uh, and then yeah, Arnie just kept pushing me to do it. Like it was Arnie who
Right.
pushed me to do the giveaway. It was Arnie who pushed me to start the newsletter.
Yeah.
Arnie pushed me to get monetized.
Yeah.
And he didn't intend to, but he pushed me to get a mentor.
Mm.
And it was only because I got the mentor, did everything work out well, and I got
Mm.
monetized.
Right. And how did you meet Arnie? Just like randomly, an ex, or?
So yeah, on X, I posted a story about how I nearly killed someone. Uh,
Wow.
and yeah, Arnie really liked it. Kind of a weird story to like, but he DM'd me and said, Ben, hurry up and start your newsletter. I want more of these. And
Yeah.
then yeah, from then we just started talking.
Cool. So you met Arnie, and Arnie was already monetizing at this point, or was he also beginning?
I think he was actually also beginning.
Mm,
No, I don't know. It was probably around that time because he had 600 followers plus. So he
yeah.
either just started monetizing or was
Mm,
just about to.
right. Gotcha. And then he was just pushing you to monetize, and you did free clients. And then they got like 10x results. What do you think? Why do you think that works so well? Like the your system.
Stories win on X. I've commented this like at least like 50 times.
Yeah,
But I mean, because people are on X more to be entertained rather than
right.
educated. And
Right.
also they want connection. People buy people.
Right.
So when you share like, hey, this is me, this is what I'm like, these are my flaws, this is my transformation, and write it in a way that's exciting and fun,
Yeah, yeah.
people connect with you, people learn more about you, and people are entertained,
Yeah.
It that that's the magic.
Wow. And do you think that, for example, so my idea right now is
Mm.
if I was like a company, right? And I wanted to like expand my business on X, how could a story, because stories are good so that I could get like traffic, right? I could get views and likes and followers. But how would you frame it in a way so that they purchase my product?
Have you heard of the 5 stages of awareness?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's like
I can't
unaware,
remember what they are. Yeah.
yeah, unaware, and
uh
then um problem aware,
Problem
but they
aware.
doesn't know the solution, and then solution aware, but doesn't know. He knows that he has solutions, but he doesn't know where to look for the solutions. And then solution aware, but doesn't know your product, and then like most aware, already knows your product, only needs like your last push.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So what people like, I mean, the big guys do is they slowly walk the reader turn from like stage 1 to stage 5
Mm,
by like lessons and by sharing advice and by just like
right.
telling them what to do and all that stuff. But if you use stories to do it, like for example, instead of saying like I cannot think of an example off the top of my head, but like you can use stories to teach lessons and
Right.
you lead them from stages 1 to 3 or 1 to 4. And
Mm,
then after that, using like auto plugs and other ways to pitch them,
right.
then they pick up the product at the end.
Wow. Okay. That makes total sense. Because I actually also kind of used storytelling before. And I think that's also why I grew. Now I'm more like really just more a copywriter, more less than a storyteller, which is probably not that good. So I'll probably go back to storytelling. But have you like read the book Story Worthy?
Worthy by Matthew
Yeah.
Dix.
Yeah, yeah, bro, I have it right here.
I have it
It's one of the
downstairs,
books
dang it.
that was it's one of the books that was recommended by me. I think it was, but someone in X recommended it to me, and when I read it, I was like, oh yeah, that actually makes sense. It's like the principles that he talks about how you should kind of like start from the transformation and things like that.
Yeah. Funny enough, that book was also recommended to me by someone on X.
Yeah.
And maybe it's the same guy, maybe it's not.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, like maybe like 30% of my storytelling comes from that book. So
Right.
I would recommend getting it.
Yeah, definitely. And it has helped me. Well, I don't apply it to my X content, but I apply it to like, so I still write because he has an exercise where you write every day, right? Like a story worthy moment, 3 dots. And I do that every day. Do you do that?
Got lazy.
So how do you come up with ideas? Like, for example, today, how would you come up with a story that you could tell people?
So I actually like the whole homework for life thing that he recommends,
Yeah.
I kind of created like my own easier, faster way to document it.
Right.
Because all the story is at the bottom of it is um a moment of change and
Right.
the main character's reaction to that change.
Mm.
just a bit of a self plug. My current pinned thread is the exact process on how I write a long form in 15 minutes. I put it out like 2 hours ago. Just saying.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Uh,
I'll check it out now.
yeah, that's included. Where all you need is a moment of change and your reaction to that change. So if something just weird or unique happens, like for example, I got scammed or it flooded, just simple moments like these, I'll just jot them down and my reaction. And yeah, when inspiration hits, I'll just look through and turn one into a long form.
Wow, that's crazy. That because it is true what you say here. It's like you get 200% more engagement because of your story. So
It's
ideation,
probably like
hook.
300 now at this point.
Oh, really? So you do ideation, hook, skeleton, ending, and edit. So that's like the process as a whole, right? And it just goes ahead and I see. Okay, I'm gonna bookmark this and read this later. But yeah. So what do you do? Not, when you've published something, it's like, do you ever repurpose your stories or your concepts?
I don't think I repurpose stories, but concepts, yes. About 80% of my content focuses on 5 unique opinions I have, and I just like constantly recycle those. Like if I run out of content ideas, I'll just look at the list of 5 of them and be like, okay, should I do another post about how engaging too much while not learning a skill is bad? Okay, no, I did 2 like yesterday, so no, I won't do it today.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
let's do one about, okay, spend more time writing the hook. Okay, yeah, I haven't done that in a while. Let me do that again. And I'll
Right.
come
So
up with,
you
a unique way to think about it.
yeah, so you just really like have like 5 pillars and then you just go around them over and over again. And you use stories to tell them or
Sometimes stories, but if I'm not doing stories, it's some kind of how I like. I mean, I don't say like
how to.
I don't say how to. It's always
Yeah.
like how I did something or I did something and I got this.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
mean, there's no definite how to. Like you
Yeah.
could say like I learned to ghostwrite using Ship
Yeah.
30, but
Yeah.
Ship 30 is not the only way. I can only tell you how I did it and how it
Yeah,
worked for
yeah.
me.
Yeah, because when you write how to, it's just like Google, you know what I mean? Like I can Google that, and there's no point to say how to. I learned that
Exactly.
in a course somewhere. He says that like that single shift, even just the hook, really, like you don't even need to shift like the principles at all, but the hook when you change it into it makes a whole other impact.
Yeah. Honestly, like sometimes, yeah, like you said, all you need to change is the hook by saying like, I learned this, and you just platitude. And it
Yeah, yeah,
seems
yeah,
like it
yeah.
seems how
Honestly,
I.
dude, that's so true though. Because like so when I do threads, right, most of it
Mm,
are just like copy pasted from my other threads or my other long forms or my other like giveaways. Honestly, like I just get it and I rephrase it, but
mm.
all that changes is the hook or like the angle.
I mean, it works because the hook is the most important point of the post.
Yeah, 80/20. That's what I learned. Yeah.
Exactly.
So curious, how did you like? What's your biggest resource on writing on X? Like, what? Yeah, well, what site, like, what principle or what resource do you always go back to? Is it like 2 Hour Writer or like a course book?
Dakota Robertson has this one video on how to grow on X. I
Right.
think he posted it like 5 months ago. It's his most viewed video on his YouTube channel, where he
Wow.
goes through the gap framework, what, why, how, or like
Right.
a bunch of other things.
Yeah.
That will be one of them. Because I mean, yeah, whenever I run out of ideas, I'll just rewatch that
Go
and
back that.
somehow
Yeah.
ideas just come.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how did you meet Dakota? That's interesting.
Were you so yeah, I showed
No, like
I
from the
posted a video
beginning.
of uh
How, like, how did you stumble across his account? Just saw him on your For You page, or
I think I don't know. When I first started X, um, I just went and followed like a bunch of
big
people who like I
Yeah,
followed Dan Cole first because I took
yeah,
2 Hour Writer. Now just
yeah.
like follow like who he followed. Like Dakota Robertson is the third person I ever followed.
Oh, I see.
So yeah, that's crazy. So and then after that, he had this community. He was making a free community. I think
Right.
it was a funnel. I can't remember on
Uh-huh.
Heartbeat. So I just applied. I got in, and then you can ask questions, and sometimes you get back to you. So that was cool. Helped
Okay.
me as like a sub 100, sub 200 creator.
Right.
And then I found him on YouTube. I liked his sense of humor. I just I just answer comments on his X posts, all that stuff.
Yeah.
He's a fun guy.
Yeah,
For
dude.
a long time I thought it was his VA, but Dakota said that he doesn't have a VA. So
Wow.
if you get a comment from Dakota Robertson, it's actually Dakota Robertson
Wow.
on YouTube and on X. Just saying.
That's awesome. He's replying to my comments sometimes. Well, most of the time actually. So yeah, that's
Well, now
interesting.
you know it's him.
Yeah, that
It's you.
boosts my ego, bro. But interesting, like how did you so you recently met him, right? You even hopped on the call with him. And
Yeah.
how did you come up with that? Like how did you meet? How did you set it up? Like how did that happen?
So about 2 months ago, I posted a video of me doing card magic, and Dakota Robertson liked it and followed. I remember that moment. I was like about to take a driving test, and that was all I could think about the whole day. I passed the test. Uh, so from then on, I was just like, okay, super fan, because like law of reciprocity. Whenever
Yeah.
he'll post, normally I'll comment, and then he'll like and comment,
Yeah.
and on YouTube also. And
Yeah.
one day, one of my friends on X, uh, he is followed by Justin Welsh follows him,
Okay.
and Justin Welsh sent him a DM and said, "Hey, you're doing really good." And the guy
Mm.
posted the DM and said, "Hey, my favorite creator DM'd me." And I said,
Yeah.
"Hey, that's great, dude. Now all I need is a DM from Dakota."
Oh, I
And
see.
Justin Welsh saw that, and Justin tagged Dakota. I
Wow.
was like, "Okay, that's funny." And then 2 days later, Dakota actually DM'd me and said, "Hey, uh, someone tagged me in a DM, something like that.
Yeah.
Thought I'd drop by and say hi. Want to hop on a
Wow.
call and hang out." I was just like,
Wow.
"What the
Wow.
heck?" I took quite a while to respond. Like I saw the DM come in like 2 seconds after that, but I didn't want to like act like a fanboy, so I just left it for a while. Yeah, I just left it. And then I
Yeah.
said, and then I responded while back and said, "Hey, yeah, sure thing. Something about scheduling issues," and he just never got back to me. I was just like, okay, yeah, he's busy. I get that. I guess it's
Yeah.
over. At least I got a DM. That's a flex enough. But then like last Sunday or like last Sunday, then he was like, "Hey, sorry, scheduling is a little bit weird because I'm traveling right now. You can book the call here."
Uh-huh.
And then I knew it was actually gonna happen. Then
Wow.
the question that rushed through my mind was, wait, Dakota Robertson, this guy with 130 times more followers than me, wants to call me. So it's a sales call, right? Then in my mind, I was thinking, okay, so if he offers, I'm guessing he's gonna get me to ghostwrite, right? So in that case, like, what is my tipping point? If he says 2K a month, would I go for it? If he says 5K, would I go for it? Or if he just says like, I'll give you 10K, but you have to quit X, would I go for that? So like these were racing through my mind. I put together a whole list of questions, a whole list of things to say, and I hopped on the call. Bro was just chilling on his bed, and I was just like, he's genuinely just here to hang out, and he was.
Cool, cool. That's so funny, man. Because I mentioned earlier, like off the podcast recording, that's sort of what happened to me as well with Aaron Will. Like, so I was just like because Aaron Will, you see him all the time because he posts like I don't know how many tweets he posts, like 20 tweets every day. Bro, he's a monster, bro. Like he just posts I don't know. I think he posts 20 tweets per day. And then he
The heck?
replies to all the comments. And I think he does it the same way as Dakota. He doesn't have a VA. He just replies to all. Well, normally it's just short. It's just like good man, or like there was even a point that he like called me son, because I think what happened was I changed my profile picture. So my profile picture right now is like a dark vignette with my face on it. And I think he called me son because when he saw that, like we kind of have the same aesthetic. So I was like, okay, dad. Like, so there was a time when we were joking around. And then just the one time I commented, I commented on his post, be like, hey Aaron, can I get a follow? And then he just like followed me. And I was like, what, 300, 400 followers that time? I was like a small account. I was like, it was my first big account moment. And then I posted it. And yeah, it's kind of like how we met too. We also hopped on a call, but it wasn't, well, it was supposed to be a pitch, but he never pitched me. It was supposed to be a pitch because it was
Wait,
supposed to
what?
be, yeah, it was supposed to be a pitch because he was doing like a cohort or a coaching thing. And then, but when we hopped on the call, he never like said a pitch. He never gave me a pitch. All he asked me was like, what's your problem, bro? Like, what's the most difficult thing for you right
What's your
now?
problem? What's your
Yeah.
problem?
He
Sorry.
asked it. It was, well, he wasn't mad. He just looks like he was always mad, but he's a cool dude. So he uh he asked me like, what's the biggest problem that you're facing right now? And then I said, well, I'm having a hard time landing clients. Like I don't know how to outreach. And then he gave me this technique. It's not because I don't apply it. I have a different system in cold DMs. Well, not cold DMs. I don't do cold DMs. I do more like warm DMs. But he gave me a system, and then that's it. Like after the call, we just ended it. He never pitched me, so it's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's crazy, dude. That's so nice.
yeah, and literally we just hop on calls, like because he has a Telegram broadcast channel, and sometimes he would like do video calls in there. And there was a time when it was only the both of us, and I was like just having one-on-one time with him, like just asking him for things. And yeah, he also knows that I was able to close my client recently, which is a big ticket, and then he congratulated me, so it's cool. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's so crazy. I didn't know Aaron
So
was so involved. I mean, like, he has like what, 200K or something like that. I'm
yeah,
surprised he has.
he has like almost the same like following with Dakota. So he is very involved, dude. Like if you comment on his post, he will reply. Like all the posts, even like all your replies, he will reply back. Yeah.
Wow. That's
There's
crazy.
there was even a time that I plugged my newsletter. I was like, "Hey Aaron, can I plug my newsletter on your comments?" And then he's like, "Go for it." And then I plugged it. Like I plugged it over and over again. I got about like 10 subscribers who I don't know. So yeah.
Who cares? Who cares? It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a flex. It's adding to my ego. So yeah, man. The big creators. But they do say that it was easier like at their time, Dakota, and because they kind of joined all at the same, like relatively the same time, right? Like Danko, Dakota, Thailand, um Aaron, they were all at the same time, joined at the same time. And they said that there was one time where that was a time where they would just post a thread and it would go like always mega viral, and they would just get like thousands of followers with just one thread. It's just insane.
Man.
As I was even in a master class with Thailand. Well, this is another platform in LinkedIn. He mentioned how he would post like a tweet. So he would get a tweet from Twitter, and then he would post it in LinkedIn, and he would like get 50,000 like follows in with one post. He said that. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, man, it was insane during that time because it was still early, I think. Now it's difficult because like you're now competing with like a lot of everyone's a ghostwriter. Even people are putting ghostwriter in their names, which is super weird for me. Like when they said like name and then ghostwriter or name copywriter, that's still super weird for me.
Bench on storyteller.
Yeah, you
Sounds
should put it
cringe.
there.
Nah.
You should be
Nah.
like the storyteller Benjamin Chand.
Eh, I was actually thinking of just cutting down my name to just like Ben. I don't know. I'm still
Ben.
thinking about it. Yeah.
Ben.
I mean, I don't know.
Ben. Well, it it's gonna be hard to stand out though, because there might be a lot of Ben.
True. Though at this point, like I've gotten to the point where like 99% of bans are like smaller accounts than me.
Right.
Not a
Gotcha.
flex. I've just been chronically online for 6 months, and therefore like I have more
You've
followers.
gained status. Well,
Yes, I have traded time for clout.
well, now you have so much leverage, dude. Like you traded your time, but now you can like post something and it'll go viral. You don't even need to do so much comments. Because I remember before I needed to like do so many things just to get viral, like connect to so many people, do outreach and things. So now I would post
Yeah.
it and it would get like
Hmm.
automatically get, I'm pretty sure that all my posts get 1,000. It's not a lot, considering that I do have 1,000 followers, but I've seen so many like accounts who have 1,000 followers and they only get like 300 impressions or something like that. I don't understand that sometimes.
That's unfortunate. I've never understood what got them there. Like maybe like one post blew up and like that's all.
That could be it. Like they couldn't maintain the momentum. I wonder though why people didn't unfollow them. Or maybe, I mean, it may not be good followers. Like it may just be, sketchy bot followers.
But bringing it back to what you said about threads, like now it seems to be kind of working. Like there are a bunch of people like going viral just by posting one thread again, and then they get like a couple thousand.
Yeah, that is true. But really, well, compared to before, it was insane. But now it is the new meta. That's also what Thailand said during the masterclass. He was like, the meta right now is just curation. So you really see, I mean, I'm also going into that route somewhat, although mine is not working too much. Funnily enough, my other content is working better. But they said that it's more like you just get like a creator, basically borrowed authority, and then just say how and then just write at the body, like the thread itself, like the things you learned. So that's what's working right now. That's what they said.
So in that case, the trick is to form a group of like 5 people, all like around the same size as you, and just like borrow authority from each other.
Do you know David Azizov? Have
Rings
you
a
seen it?
bell. What happened?
So he did this. It was so funny because he made a post about himself. He's like, "This is David Azizov. He's a rock star." And like he made a post about himself in that format. Like, dude, that was so funny. That's
You can do
hilarious.
that also. Like you go
This is
like,
Benjamin
Ben
Chan.
Chan is overrated. Ben Chan is overrated, is what his jealous haters say. I studied his formats for 10 billion years and I found out that I don't know. I don't like that format. It's so overused at this point.
Yeah, it is. It is overused. Well, it still works though. I think that's actually the first
Mhm.
viral thing that I ever saw on Twitter with Dan Ko. I think it was Stein who made it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, it works, man. There was one who borrowed that. I know someone. It was Gabor. Do you know Gabor Mate? Like he's like I think he's a psychologist or something.
Okay.
And there was a thread about him, and one account who had 60 followers got like 1,100 in one day. Like he blew up to 1,100 followers in one day.
What
Yeah,
the heck?
yeah, man.
That's crazy.
It's been crazy, like the threads. But I think it's a hit or miss. It doesn't always work. Because for me, I've been using it. I successfully did it one time with the Jordan Peterson one where I talked about my life.
Saw that.
But after that, like it didn't work anymore. So I think it's a hit or miss. Unlike storytelling by Ben Chan, always
Buy my
hits.
nah.
So yeah. Anyways, dude, you posted like one thing in Twitter that really caught my attention. You were like, I'm 21. In X, I'm considered a dinosaur. So you're like, most people would think that you're young, but then in reality, it is kind of we're kind of old because most of these guys are like 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, right? And I'm curious, like, what were you doing when you were 15?
So, do you know the Supercell game Brawl Stars?
I think I know that, dude. Brawl Stars?
It's like by the same guys that made Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, Heyday,
Oh,
Boom
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Beach.
Dude, I know, like
Yeah,
the one where it's like three people, right? Or something like that. Or it's like
three
a
towers
first.
and then versus three towers.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So when I was 15, Brawl Stars was just released and I was grinding so hard I was like in the top 1%. Like the people I
Wow.
played with back then, like 1 or 2 years ago were the world champions or among the world
Whoa.
champions. That was what I
Wow.
was doing when I was 15.
Wow.
I kind of monetized it technically, where my friends paid me to log into their account
And
and play the
then,
game for
and
them.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I charged too little. I mean, they were my friends anyway. Like
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
charge them too much. They also don't have money. So
Wow.
yeah, that was what I was doing when I was 15.
And have you played like any other games other than that?
I tried to be a Minecraft YouTuber
Oh, right. Yeah, you
quite
mentioned
recently
that.
actually.
How'd that go? How
Yeah.
did that go?
700,000 impression I mean views on YouTube, 3,000 subscribers. Um Made a bunch of friends. Honestly,
Uh-huh.
I do plan to return. Like, say I
Wow.
hit 10K a month soon, then
Yeah.
I'm just gonna like work 4 hours a day, and then the other four,
And
and then
then and
spend
then
four
just
hours just
play around
creating
and
Minecraft
then
videos.
wow, that's awesome, dude.
I
That's
freaking love Minecraft videos, dude. Like, it's so fun. Just
yeah.
editing and playing,
Yeah.
amazing.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I've never played Minecraft. My girlfriend hates me for it because she loves Minecraft. I've never played, well, I have played it on the phone, but I've never played it on
Mm.
PC. And you're probably also gonna hate me for this, but I don't get the appeal of it, bro. Sorry.
Well, maybe you're not doing it enough. Like, look, okay, I remember when I first played Minecraft and I found it like confusing. Like, why the heck do you just build a house and then
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
zombies
yeah.
come and
Me
then they
too.
destroy you
Yeah.
and you try to kill them and they destroy you again and again and again and again. But after a while, like you realize there's so much creativity and so yeah, honestly, it just gets better as you go along.
So it's kind of like the more you play it, the more it becomes enjoyable. And what
And
do
the
you
more you
do?
realize there is to actually do.
Like, is there
So
a
I play this
competition there?
mode, yeah. I play single player actually. I play this
Right.
mode called Minecraft Hardcore,
Mm.
where basically if you die once, you lose your entire world. You cannot respawn.
Wow.
It's like the hardest mode of
Yeah.
Minecraft in the official game.
Uh-huh.
And you know how like the Minecraft day cycle works? Like every 20 minutes is one day.
Um. Okay.
So far in my hardcore world, I've survived 2,100 days, I think.
And you
So
didn't
I make
pause at
YouTube
all.
videos about that.
Like, did
I
you
mean,
play the whole time? The whole time?
no,
Or
no, 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 no. That's like a couple hundred hours. But
wow.
like, no, no, no. I mean, I'll just log on, play, film videos, edit the
Right.
videos. I've made some pretty impressive builds. At least I think they're impressive.
Mm.
Uh, yeah. Then I just make YouTube videos about that.
And how long did you survive again?
So far, it's 2,100 days.
2,100
I actually
days.
started a new world because, yeah, for some reasons, maybe one day I'll release in a YouTube video, but I started a new world for try out some new things. And so far, it's like 300 days.
Wow. So you just do that. And how do you survive? Like, is there people like what is the threat in a way?
So in hardcore, everything is harder. Like everything deals more damage. Everything is
Mm.
like more mob spawn, all that stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, after a while, you kind of figure out how to survive.
Mm.
But yeah, the whole premise is one slip up and you're dead.
Right. Okay.
So
Now now
it's
now
not
I'm
like one
getting the
big
point.
boss, but like 1,000 like
Yeah.
mini things where if you screw
Yeah.
up once, you're just done.
I think I get the appeal now, where it's like you build, it's basically survival, right? Like you just survive
Yeah,
as long as
yeah,
you can. And there are like monsters or something that attack you.
yeah, yeah.
And like, is there nutrition there? Or like, do
Hunger,
you,
yeah, yeah. They're like,
you,
the different potions you can make. They're like, I
wow.
mean, if you run out of food, you just die. Uh,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there are different ways to like escape that or like to hold it off for some period of time. Like
Yeah.
there are different forms of armor, there are different forms of food.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, yeah, if you run out of health, you die. If you run out of food, you die. You run out of a lot of other things, then
Okay, I get
it
it now.
sucks.
I get it now.
It's really
Okay.
fun. I love the game.
Okay, dude, like when you start doing that, I'll join you. We'll check it out. We'll see.
We've
We'll
done
see
it.
who survives longer, man. But yeah, I also had a gaming phase during high school. I used to play League of Legends. So
Nice.
I actually reached like not mistaken, like Platinum 3. That's my highest rank. I was a sorry.
In terms of leagues, where's that at? I played League like for like 1 month, so I'm not very sure.
So okay, so there's I don't know the system now, but back then it was like really simple. It's just bronze, silver, gold, and then platinum. So I was in platinum 3. And
Wow.
each each one of them has 5, if I'm not mistaken. It's like bronze 5 is the lowest, and then 4, 3, 2, 1. Silver 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I was in platinum 3. I know someone who was in challenger, bro. Like, the highest one. Yeah, he would hard carry us. But I used to play that, and honestly, like whenever I do Twitter, there comes a point where I just go back. Well, when I'm writing, it doesn't feel like that. But when I'm doing comments and outreach, for some reason my brain just goes back to the state when it was gaming. So like I feel like I'm gaming, when I'm doing outreach to people. Do you ever feel like
Same.
that? Yeah.
Totally get that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
It's like, okay, this is a game. How can I optimize it? How can I
Yeah.
like beat other people?
Yeah,
So
dude.
fun.
That's crazy because I feel like most of the people that I talk to who are in the creator space were once like played a game or a sport. So that's kind of actually what in this podcast I've been in having guests who are athletes. Well, for you, you are a athlete in the internet, considering that you survived 2100 days. That's
Esports.
yeah, man. But yeah, I think there's something about learning how to play a game and doing things just because they're fun and not expecting anything out of it, because you just
Mm,
do it because it's fun.
mm,
So
definitely.
yeah, I'd love to play Minecraft in the future, and maybe I'll do the League of Legends again. Although I did quit because I don't know, when you grow up, like when you're surrounded by adults, you know that like when they tell you that you have to grow up and you have to be serious and you have to take life seriously, kind of took away the spirit of playing and doing anything. I also used to play chess, man. Like I had like 1800 elo
What the
in
heck?
chess.com. Chess.com, not real life.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's
chess.com
still pretty high.
rapid. Yeah, I was addicted back then. I loved like playing chess. Also because growing up, I was already playing it. Like, um, I had an uncle who was good at chess, and then I just got obsessed with it. And I was like really the strategic guy. I always like to think of strategies and tactics and trying to outsmart people and things like that. So I like to think 5 steps ahead. So yeah, man. Yeah, just a tangent.
You know, you know what's funny? Speaking of this tangent, uh, so I mean, in the last 1 month, while I've been like earning money on X, learning to earn money on X, I've realized that just the whole like client acquisition is a lot like chess.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you shoot out, you say like you send them a DM. It's just like putting out your pawn, and then
Yeah.
they say this, and then you're like, okay, they're gonna say
Uh,
this, so I'm gonna do this, and
wow.
then you slowly lead them towards the call, and then on the call, then it's the end game already,
Yeah.
and then you say
Wow.
this, they say this, you say this, they say this, you say this, you say this, and then checkmate, they sign with you.
That's that is a very good way to think about it. So it's like, so the opening is the DMs, right? The opening. The middle game is the call, and then the end. Or wait, the end game is no, the end game is the call,
Okay,
right?
setting them on the call, yeah.
Oh, setting them on the call is the middle game. So the opening is the DM, and then setting him up for the call is the middle game. And then in the call, that's kind of like already the end game where you just You just like close them. Wow, that's a very interesting way of
Exactly.
looking at it.
Like
Dude,
it
you
feels
should
so
make
good. Like when you, I mean, when you execute everything perfectly and then you
yeah,
sell, you're like, okay, yep, I planned all this well. Or if you screw up some way, then you see you fail.
yeah.
Then you go back and think, yep, okay, I moved this wrong, so
Wow.
therefore I fail.
Did you
It's
use did
pretty
you play
cool.
chess too?
I mean, I know the rules of the game, but I never
Right.
actually bothered to like play competitively or
I
like
see.
never outside my family and friends.
Gotcha, gotcha. But yeah, man, that's a very interesting like point. You should make content or well, let's race who makes I probably will make content about it. I'm gonna steal your idea, bro.
I'll probably just be in my course. You can take it on X. Go ahead. I'll just put it in my course.
Yeah, I'll use it now. Probably do it first. Yeah, I'll probably use it in X to see if it works, and then use it in my newsletter. Like
Nice.
yeah, yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, chess. How about like where would you put Minecraft in that in your for so if you could make that metaphor in chess in X, like what part of X would you think Minecraft would be?
I would suppose, okay, so in Minecraft, I like to make these mega builds. Like
Mm,
basically huge projects where you spend dead as like 100 hours to make like one build, one house, one castle, one farm, one environment, whatever. I
mhm.
suppose that's the same with X, where I mean, every block you place leads you closer there. Every post slowly like walks you closer and closer to the reality you envision.
Wow.
And like, I mean, once in a while you step back and you're like, hey, okay, maybe it's not going as I expected. Then you just tweak it a bit, and then
Right.
the castle slowly starts to form, and you add
Mm.
more and more details, and soon you have a masterpiece.
So basically, like you consider your whole brand, like your branding in X as your project in Minecraft.
To some extent, yeah. Like, I mean, what I've created is basically a mega build. Like, with the little details I will put into my Minecraft build,
Mm.
other little details, little nuances, like inside jokes, or like the whole sky
Yeah.
theme, or like the cat photos, things like that. These are all little nuances which people have started to see me as, and which I've kind of incorporated into the build almost.
Yeah.
Then there's the general structure, which is like the storytelling, the X profile,
Yeah.
how I want to be seen in general.
Right.
It all comes together into just one solid build. I mean, the build's not finished. It's good, I would say, but it's not finished.
You can
There's still a
always
lot
like
more to be
refine
done.
it or even build
You
on
can
it.
always just add more buildings or
Yeah.
yeah, refine it.
Wow. That's a very interesting way of looking at it, bro. It's very creative too. So what would be right now, what would be Benjamin Chan's vision as of the moment, like at this moment? What is that project? What is that building that you were trying to construct?
Well, I suppose in this case, let's just go by the end of the year.
Okay.
That was a very creative way to ask me my goals. I like that. Uh, Soon the goal at the end of the year is to launch a digital product. Like because a lot of people ask me for like, story advice and stuff, but I don't have time to help everyone. I mean, I just try to help a few people, and
Mhm.
I give extensive help to the people who, uh, I mean, it sounds like favoritism, but I mean, like, yeah, those who pay me would get more help. Uh, but soon I'm hoping to launch a digital product which people can just learn everything I know, and
Mhm.
then I mean, they could pay for my personalized help if they want.
Right.
For me specifically, goals would be hit 10K a month by November because I started in November. So I thought it would be
Oh,
cool to
wow.
bring it full circle
Yeah,
by
yeah, yeah.
hitting 10K a month this November. But I
Yeah.
mean, like you said, like at this point, it's just bragging. It's not even like reality yet. So
Yeah.
yeah, we see how it goes.
So the vision right now is to hit 10K per month on November, correct? And but in
Yeah.
terms of like in terms of branding, like what okay, well, what would you like your audience to remember or have you achieved that by being a storyteller? I guess that's kind of like the question is, what when they say Benjamin Chan, what do you want people to form in their minds?
Kind of just, yeah, stories, specifically like now I'm moving towards the direction of the best way to sell. Okay, my best way to sell
Uh-huh.
is through stories,
Yeah.
where you can build up, you show people your real authentic self
Mm-hmm.
and while sharing them lessons,
Right.
and yeah, they buy from you because then they know, like, and trust you. I
Yeah.
think that's the best way.
Actually, dude, totally agree with that. And this is an idea that I got like from one of the personal branding coaches in YouTube, is that everything right now that you're selling is already being sold by someone else. Like rarely do we have a product that is like super unique, you know? Even if you create a new, like even people who think that they're gonna create a new Uber or a new Facebook, it's like you're just saying a new Facebook, but there's already Facebook. So you already have other competitors, and the only way that you can really stand out, or that people would buy you, is by your story, by your brand. And this goes back to the quote that I like to cite. It's like people don't buy products, they join tribes. So they don't really buy what you're selling. What they're buying is your personality. Like they want to be close to you, to talk, to have contact with you, to have like some sort of connection with you.
I love that. I really love that. I think you nailed it, honestly.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing in this world where you are buying stuff so that the direction of the world would move towards that. So instead of buying like, if you like like Nike versus Adidas, right? If you think that the world would be better with Nike, you would buy Nike. You know what I mean? It's not because they're
Mm.
basically the same thing. They're just the same shoes, the same like pants. I don't even know what they're putting in there, but it's just really a vote for what you would like to thrive. So yeah, that's why I think stories are important.
On that note, I was doing research for my program a while back, and then I
Mm,
found out that I found this one message. I think it was simple beats complex. Yeah. And
mm.
then apparently Arnie Ho, Sean Canella, and Audrey Lowe all posted a tweet with that same message in a span of 1 week, but they
Uh-huh.
all used their own perspectives.
Right.
Like Sean said, my routine is boring, but boring is good because boring helped me earn this much money.
Yeah.
Audrey said, I'm on vacation, but I was still able to work on my business because simple beats complex. And then Arnie
Wow.
said, my daily routine is this because simple beats complex. And posted within a week of each other. I'm pretty sure they share very similar audiences. No one said
Yeah.
anything.
Wow.
Stories.
It really just changes, right? Like the personality, the person speaking, just the brand. There's the power of the brand. I mean, it you have you read the art and what's this? Sorry. Steal Like an Artist?
Austin Kleon? Not
Yeah.
yet, actually. I
It's
think
a
I
it's a
have not
good
had
book.
time.
It's very short,
Mm,
man. Like it's kind of like a thing where you just flip a page and you read like a little bit of text and you already get inspiration. It's not
interesting.
yeah, it's not a book where you need to consume it all at once. It's more like you go to the book, you open it, and then you see like something that he talks about, and then you can already get, it's like Twitter, it's just short words. You get a tweet, and then that's it. You already feel like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Because you don't really need to finish the book. You don't need to read the book in sequence. You can already kind of get an idea just by opening one chapter. And that's my perspective.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I'll put that on my list. I
Yeah.
honestly, like, so many people recommend me books. Like even Dakota was just like, hey, I recommend these books if you're doing this. And I have one of them, but I haven't read it yet. Like when I recommended him books, he was just like, okay, I'm gonna buy it now. But for me, I'm just like, yes, write it down, and I haven't done anything yet. Dakota, if you're watching this, I swear I'm gonna take action. Trust me. Yeah. Let me go on X a bit more first. Yeah, bro's
Yeah.
just like, okay, I'm gonna buy the book.
Go
Crazy
for it,
stuff.
man. But yeah, anyways, going back to the still like an artist, he said something like that. It's like there's nothing new under the sun, really. Like there's nothing that is everything that you say has already been said and even probably said better, right? Like all the ideas that we have, it's just a recreation of a previous idea. But what you mentioned with Audrey Lowe and Sean and Arnie, difference is just really their perspective and how they're going to write it, how they're going to interpret it. So yeah,
Mm.
he talks about that actually. People, all artists just steal from other artists. They just put their own little twist on it.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's just how it works.
Yeah, man. That's the world of Twitter for you too. If you look at all, man, if you look at all the threads, there's already like you will see that they just changed the topic, but it's the same structure, man.
I mean, the structure. Honestly, I don't see that much wrong with copying like the structure.
Mm,
Like, I mean, structure is structure as long as you don't copy like like
the idea
the
itself.
sentences
All
or
right.
I mean, the idea also is kind of fine as long as rephrase it and make it your own.
Right.
But yeah, just don't straight up copy like every single sentence because I
Yeah.
mean it happens.
I definitely get you. I definitely get you. So yeah, man. Okay. So right now, I like to end my podcast with asking my guest 5 resources. You were talking about like Dakota telling you books. So how about you? What are the 5 resources that you think kind of shaped your personality, your career, your person? And yeah, what are 5 resources? Books, videos, anything really, podcasts.
Okay, first one would be Robin Sharma's 5 a.m. Club. It's a
Okay.
book. 5 a.m. Club was the first book that got me started on self-improvement in general
Hmm.
and got me started at waking up at 5 a.m. And because I woke up at 5 a.m., I had more time to read Atomic Habits. I don't know why Atomic Habits is the only book I can think of right now. Rich Dad Poor Dad. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, Atomic Habits would be number 2.
Okay.
Atomic Habits by James Clear, just amazing book. Let me choose something else instead of books. Let's actually do this one. This is interesting. In terms of storytelling on X, a lot of my inspiration came from Mr. Beast's channel.
Wow. How'd that
Yeah.
happen?
I mean, I used to be a YouTuber, so I would study all his stuff. I'll learn the intros, how to, grab people's attention,
Uh-huh.
and I just use the same structures for X. This is why I'm not very worried about like competition, because at the end of the day, you guys they're getting all their stuff from X. I got all my stuff from like years of YouTube. I mean,
Wow.
yeah, sure, I guess you could like reverse engineer stuff and eventually get there, but the barrier to entry is quite high. So Mr. Beast channel, I'm trying to think of like unique things. Be fun. Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things is another thing. Like the whole season 4 specifically, the way they bring out emotion is, yeah, I've used that to tell my stories on X also. If you
Wow.
watch it enough, especially the running up that hill scene,
Uh-huh.
you might see some similarities in my stories. I'm not gonna spoil it because I mean those are my methods, but you can go feel free reverse engineer it if you want. And for the last one, honestly, man, I just gotta say the Bible. Like I'm Christian for a
Okay.
reason, and like a lot of what it says has just helped.
Gotcha.
I'm pretty sure a bunch of people roll in their eyes, but those who know would know.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I'm
those are
also a
my 5.
Christian right here.
Awesome. I
Yeah.
don't have anything, but yeah.
I actually also have like a big cross tattoo in my back. I don't want to show it because like
Interesting.
there might be kids watching and but yeah, I have a big cross tattoo here in my back. And so the story behind that, now that I'm with the story master.
Nice.
So this is what happened. I think it was last year or the year before. 2 years ago or a year ago, January or February, like early, I had a problem with my family and I needed to become independent early. So right now I'm actually living on my own. And I was I like I was in university and I was also working a job, like a night shift. It was really a tough time. And I felt like a loser. I felt like super weak. And I was thinking maybe I should just go back to my family, like try to go back, even if things are hard, things like that. But then there was just an epiphany. I don't know really what happened, but something inside me just thought, because again, I'm a Christian and I think of like Jesus, what he went to in a metaphysical level, more like a faith level. So what he did was he carried his cross. He took on the burden of this, like everyone's sins, even though he was sinless, right? Like he didn't do anything wrong, but and everyone was sinful, but he still took responsibility of all the sins and like got crucified. So the reason why I put a cross in my back, right, and I decided to put a tattoo of a cross in my back is I'm not spineless anymore. So I took responsibility of my life. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna hustle my way out of this. I'm going to like make a name for myself. I'm going to be successful. Like I was just, hyping myself up. I'm not spineless anymore. I'm not gonna let anyone bully me, tell me that I'm a loser. Again, because when I was a child, I was fat and I was bullied and things like that. I'm not spineless anymore, and I choose to carry my cross because, like Jesus, even if it wasn't my fault, I take responsibility for it. And then this is the more cringy part, but it's like, Jesus has my back because he's in my back. So those are the three reasons why I have like a cross tattoo in my back. I'm not spineless. I carry my cross, and Jesus has my back. So yeah.
Props to you for sharing, dude. That's insane. That's so cool. Honestly, the last one, nah, I like the last one the best. That's cool.
Yeah. Honestly, dude, I don't know if I'm gonna put that in my podcast because it might
Sure,
be,
no worries.
yeah, but we'll see. So I will yeah, we'll stay in touch. I'm really thankful for you hopping on, bro.
Was fun. Thanks, man.
Yeah, it was a long conversation. I don't even know. Like I was such in a flow. I didn't know how long it took. But yeah, man, it was fun. Stories, video games, and all of that. Um, yeah, see you next and have fun, bro. Have a good one.
Bye.